Mic check, mic check. What is going on, everybody? Steve Raiken here with the Raiken Profit YouTube channel, coming to you guys with another video. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 10 most expensive clothing items that sold on eBay in 2017. So at the time of this recording, I believe the date is February 24th, so we're only really a couple months into the year. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more crazy clothing items that sell over the next, couple months and throughout the year. But I want to share with you guys some of the top clothing items which have sold so far in this clothing arena to kind of inspire you. And not only that, but to kind of open up your eyes to the opportunities that are out there. The worst thing that you could do is not have the knowledge and pass up an item that sells for a ridiculous amount of money just because you didn't know. So we're going to dive into the show soon. I want to do a check real quick on my other computer to make sure we are live. And for some reason, there is a delay, which is quite odd. So anyways, I'm going to just continue moving forward. Give me one moment. Sometimes with Google and these Hangouts, there's a delay, or sometimes it'll say you're live and it's not really live. So it's going to be an interesting day today so far on Google, I can already tell. So for some reason, it's saying it's not live right now. Okay, so let's see what's going on right now. Bear with me, guys, for the people who are watching the replay. I'll be sure to put a link in the description. Let's see what's going on right now. Okay, I think it just popped on live right now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I guess I'll restart the introduction right now. It just started. Steve Raiken here, Raiken Profit. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 of the most expensive clothing items that sold on eBay in 2017. So these are the top items that I found. I simply went to eBay. I went to the sold listings. I typed in clothing, and I brought to you guys the top selling items because it's really important to know what these are for a couple reasons. Number one, if you see one of these items, you want to be able to recognize it and buy it, right? Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to find any of these items because there's a couple that you could live 100 lifetimes and you probably never find it. But still, the worst thing, possible is to pass up an item. And this has happened to me before, not on like a major level, but it's happened to where I've passed up an item when I was new a couple years ago. A couple years pass and I realize, holy crap, like I passed up an item that, sold for like $200 or $300, right? So hopefully this video will educate you guys on the top 10 most expensive clothing items that sold on eBay in 2017. We're only 2 months in, so let's jump into it, guys. We got LA Henna in the house. Let me guess, LV or Supreme. Those actually, Supreme isn't in there. Thriftology, Coldwater Creek. I don't think so. Hustle and Grow. What's good, everybody? Vintage Made, Jessica GV. We got Eric Rizwiz in the house saying, I am alive. I'm glad to know. A bunch of people watching live right now. But anyways, let's dive into it. I'll get back into the comments shortly. If you guys are ready to rock and roll, if you are excited, if you're bringing the energy like I am, smash that like button right now, hit it, and let's get into the party. All right, so the first item that I found that sold on eBay, this actually sold on January 13th, 2017. This is an item that I'm not familiar with. I believe this is a soccer jersey or a football jersey, however you want to call it, depending on where you are located in the world. You can take a look at the title right in front of you. I'm not sure who this player is or the team or why it went for so much money, but this item, new 2016-2017 Chelsea home jersey, Hazard number 10, rare, sold for $3,555. And it wasn't like it was a buy it now when one person bid. There was a straight up auction going down. Like there was a battle going down, and there was 25 bids on this actual item. And you know what kind of scares me here? This is like the worst fear that I ever have as a seller, is when you sell an item that's really, really expensive and the person who buys it has zero feedback. That terrifies me. So I can't guarantee that the person actually sold for it. You know, if I was the seller, I would have taken $50 less to deal with this guy or this gal with 29 feedback. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know much about this item. I am looking in the comments live right now if anybody knows what is going on with this item. Someone says, "What? This is crazy." I know, it's insane what some people are willing to pay. Next on deck is an item that I believe this was a best offer. Sometimes eBay will show the item sold as, you know, it says 19,000, but I think this was taken for a best offer. I'm not exactly sure what it was. But the title reads, "Entire collection, vintage clothing, large lot, Victorian to disco, possible to ship." So I guess the seller probably prefers a local pickup, but you know, he's saying possibly to ship. So I'm assuming it's a lot of stuff. Right here, I can definitely tell it's, you know, it's older stuff. I see one of those little tags on, looks like appears to be a hat. Those tags are usually seen in antique malls and antique booths. So I feel like maybe this seller, Truly Vintage 607, might just be selling off his or her entire collection. And I actually considered doing this myself when I actually sold off over 1,000 of my clothing items about a year ago. And I ended up selling it to a local reseller who was a couple states over. He came over in a U-Haul and picked it all up. But before I had put together that deal with him, I was actually considering putting my whole entire lot on eBay myself, because I've seen people have success with it. But it scares me. You know, it always scares me selling really expensive things on any platform. That could be eBay or Amazon, any third-party platform that allows returns, because you don't want that return coming through on something ridiculous like this. But let's dive into see, you know, look at these pictures and what's going on. You know, when it comes to this Victorian vintage clothing, I don't know anything about it. I'm sure there's a market for it if someone's willing to pay that much. I see a lot of different pieces of clothing. I'm assuming that in the description, it's probably going to give a better story in terms of what exactly is being sold. But as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of clothing for sale. I see some leather jackets. I see a tweed sport coat. I see some blazers, what appear to be blazers in there as well. So this is a big lot. I don't know exactly what this sold for. It's saying 19,000, but I'm assuming there was a best offer that was taken. The description reads, "Entire collection of vintage clothing for sale. Could be a great business opportunity where it is, or to add to your own inventory or collection." What's included is 5 racks of vintage clothing ranging from Victorian to disco era and everything in between. Many hats, hat boxes, accessories, gloves, purses, vanity items, perfume bottles also included. Many more items in addition to what is pictured, including prom dresses. I've heard people have a lot of success with prom dresses, wedding gowns, and a number of mid-century coats, some with fur collars. So that's it, guys. I want to know in the comment section right now, has anybody ever purchased a large lot of clothing on eBay? Because if you take a look from time to time and you look for the items that are for sale and you sort from the most expensive to the lowest, a lot of times you'll find these big lots, these bundles, these, you know, wholesale businesses going out of business sales, you know, as in this example. And I want to know, have you guys ever popped on one of those on one of those deals? I never have. I mean, I've picked up smaller sets of items, but I've never popped on something that had like 100 or 200 or 300 items. Let's see. Dutch Week says, "Yay, I caught a stream towards the beginning." What up, Steve? What's up, Dutch Weeks? One, good to see you. Hustle and grow. Don't be surprised by these prices. Remember, a Virgin Mary grilled cheese sold for several thousand. I even saw something sell for $5. Somebody asked a question, stupid question. Can I list the same product on Amazon and eBay? Yes, you can. You just got to make sure if you sell something on eBay or Amazon to, you know, remove the other listing when it sells. There's a program / software called, I believe it's called Joe Lister, that can help you with that process. So definitely check that out. Jodine says, hello, I'm actually at work now. I'm getting paid to watch you. Jodine, that is the only way to get paid, to watch Raiken Profit. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, let's move on to the next item. So things are going to get a little interesting here. I know I told you that these are the top selling items in 2017. This was actually at the end of 2016, but I felt like it was close enough to include. It was right before Christmas in 2016. And the title reads Mountain Man Reenactment Clothing Complete with Accessory Kit Carson. So I don't know what is going on. Is this like the Carson Daily Show or something like that? But it looks like it's some tribal, mountaineer, Native American type costume or outfit. Obviously, it says reenactment. So it's obviously an outfit or a costume to reenact, a previous time. But I'm just taking a look at it to see what there is. I see a couple different little props. That looks like some type of weapons at the bottom. I see a hat. I see a couple costumes, a top, a bottom, the matching shoes or moccasins, whatever you want to call them, right? Gloves. I mean, very interesting right here. And this sold for $2,400 plus 100 shipping. So, whoa, hello. This is that's crazy right there. So, if you guys are trying to reenact, the good old days, you might have missed out on one of the best listings. Now, this appears to be some type of fur, maybe like bear fur or something like that. Some animal. It looks like a bear. I know some of these furs are quite expensive. Yeah, definitely an interesting listing right here. $2,400. I'm just going through some of the pictures. Looks like here's another outfit right here. So someone says Kit Carson was a cow. So that's pretty interesting right there. This is reenactment clothing, not original Native American clothing made by Native Americans. So this seller is, top line is making it quite clear that this is reenactment clothing. So I don't know if there's something against listing actual Native American clothing, because I know it's weird. Like on eBay, if you use certain keywords, you'll actually, I don't even think you can use the word keyword. I don't even think you can use some keywords that are related to Native American like in a title, or else they'll take your listing down. So I'm not sure if there's something here. That's why this seller's, stating in big bold letters reenactment clothing. Definitely a reseller, because I see in the description the seller mentions that it was purchased from an estate. Included are items common to the period. All items are in good condition. Most items look like new. The collection came from a state where the previous owner gave talks to children in schools about Indian life. That's very interesting. To complete the collection, you would only need a long rifle and moccasins to fit your feet, as the ones included are quite small. I think they were only to pass around the classroom. The jacket is considered a physician's jacket for the period. The shirt fits me. That's me in the photos. I'm a 44 long suit, so on and so forth. The previous owner paid $4,800 for all the items, not to mention the time it took to collect them. So here you get a whole list of what sold. So that's interesting right there. $2,400 plus $100 shipping. And a Garage Flip says, great story in the listing, smart. Yeah, I really like this listing, because not only is the seller telling an actual story in the description, and let's just be real, stories sell. Stories definitely sell. I mean, I feel like anyone who purchased this would kind of want to know the background information, but he's also telling a story in a sense with his pictures. I like how the pictures progress. Now, the pictures aren't perfect. 352 feedback. I don't think this is like a hardcore full-time seller, because some of them are like sideways and, he forgot to flip them around, but still the pictures tell a story in itself. And, from my experience selling on eBay, pictures will typically sell your item better than what's written in the description. Pictures come first, even more than pictures. Well, no, I wouldn't say even more, but pictures are probably the most important. Then you've got the title, for ranking in the in the search, description, item specifics, all that good stuff. But that's really cool. Let's move on to the next one, guys. 74 people watching live. Mark Pearson says, sorry I'm late. I smashed that like button. I appreciate it, guys. If you're watching live right now and you are enjoying this new series, and I'm thinking about turning this into a new series, maybe share the top most expensive items in all different categories. I think that might be cool content for people. Hit that like button, show some love. Let me know that you're enjoying this. And let's move on to the next thing. This is quite interesting right here. Let me catch my breath because I'm talking a million miles per hour. Take a sip of my coffee. Dive into this one. Now, this right here, guys, imagine finding this at a thrift store or at a garage sale. Like I said earlier in this video, you could live 100 lifetimes and probably not find one of these items. And this is probably the case right here. Michael Jackson, you heard me correct. Michael Jackson personally owned and worn custom-made jacket. So there's probably only one of these in the world, right? I don't think this was custom made for Michael Jackson. Now, I don't know how the seller's going to prove that it was actually made for Michael Jackson. Let's take a look right here. The Special Friends of Martine, I don't know what that says, Wildlife Way Station, Angels National Forest, California. So far, if I was to see this in a thrift store, I'll be honest, I'd pass on it. I really would so far, because how in the world, or even at a garage sale, how in the world would I even know that this has any value? So far, I'd be passing. But let's take a look at the we took a look at the title, we took a look at the pictures, but let's take a look at some more of the pictures to kind of get a feel for how we would even know Michael. So I see Michael. That's like, there's a million Michaels in this world. So, I don't know anything. I don't see anything special yet. See, that scares me so far, because how in the world do you even know that this is actually owned by Michael Jackson? I don't, I would have liked to see some type of, I don't know what it's called, a certificate, or a certificate of what, I forget what it's called. Authenticate. Anyways, I can't talk right now. Let's see. Michael Jackson Special Friends personally owned and worn jacket. Michael was very fond of animals, especially his chimp Bubbles and his bear Karina. When Michael was on the road and too busy to take care of his loved ones at home, he would board them with his friend Marine, the founder and manager of the Wildlife Way Station in Angeles National Forest in Los Angeles. Okay. So in return for taking care of his pets, Michael generously supported the privately run nonprofit facility to show their appreciation for his patronage. They commissioned the famous Hollywood-based LP design studio to create this stunning, one-of-a-kind, hand-embroidered jacket for Michael. So again, this seller is certificate of authenticity. That's what I was that's what I was looking to say. I definitely stumbled on my words there. But this is interesting. Just like that, Native American reenactment costume lot, this seller again, and I love the name .A. Is telling a story. And I think the story probably is what helped to sell this item, because I don't see, any certificates of authenticity. I don't see really any proof that it was, actually owned by Michael Jackson. But as I continue to read through, I'm actually gonna have to take back my words. Comes complete with documentation, COA. So that's the certificate of authenticity. So the COA, abbreviated from Julian's auction, and is shipped free with the United States. Okay, so I'm eating my words. There is a certificate of authenticity included. So, yeah, let's move on. Next up, and again, here's another item that you probably would never find in a million years. And it's almost to a point where it's not even worth sharing this, because how are you going to find this? But anyways, I'll share it because I thought it was interesting. Elvis Presley original lavender short sleeve shirt with cloth buttons from Diskin. I'm not sure what Diskin is. Is it a type of material? Possibly. $5,000 for this item. $5,000. And you know what? I'm sitting here thinking, I guarantee you there's people who specialize and purchasing items that are certified with authenticity and whatnot from like famous celebrities. And I'm sure that they pick them up at auction and then flip them, whether it's on eBay or any other specialized website out there for people and collectors. I guarantee you there are people out there who do that. I know there's people who go out to concerts and they buy tickets, right, to popular ones that they know are going to get sold out, and then they flip them, to people who can't get it. I guarantee you there's people out there who do this, and I'd be curious to know if EPM or EP memorabilia does this, or if this is just like an auction company or whatnot. But quite the interesting niche right there. Elvis Presley originally owned a short sleeve shirt, $5,000. So here we go. Here's the story. I purchased the short sleeve lavender shirt with round fabric buttons from Miss April Martin, who received it from the Elvis Presley fan club that she belonged to in the 1960s. The shirt was forwarded to them by Mr. Tom Diskin. So that's actually a person, assistant to Colonial Tom Parker, for a giveaway to the members of the fan club. Miss Martin was the lucky winner of the shirt and has been in possession of this shirt since that time until I made the purchase. Fully documented with the letter from Miss Martin, EP memorabilia, and Parker's office copy. So it looks like if you're going to try to sell one of these super, super high-end items, you're going to have um, that certificate of authenticity, or the COA. But yeah, $5,000 right there. I'd be curious to who's actually buying this. Is it a collector? Is it someone looking to flip it? If you're a collector, I know there's diehard Elvis Presley fans out there, obviously. I wonder if they framed it up and put it in their little man cave. That's definitely a cool piece right there. Mischievous Mal says, that's so tight. I'm telling you, that is one tight shirt right there. The lavender, the color, I'm telling you, that's a beautiful item right there. Hustle and Grow says, they had them back then, as odd as it sounds. If they are recent, you should not have too much of a problem. It's Nazi items that you are no longer allowed to list. I sell Confederate items all the time. So thank you for that input, Hustle and Grow. LA Henna is saying, wow, what? Exactly. Corey says, Elvis's sweat is worth more than printer ink. So true. We got somebody by the name of Nicole. Hey, Nicole, thanks for tuning on in. Says, anyone see Antiques Roadshow where a lady bought a jacket worn by Carol O'Connor on All in the Family? Got it at an estate sale for $40. She wears it to walk the dog, worth $10,000. It's amazing. I would definitely say to anyone out there who is interested in selling on eBay, or you're just an avid thrifter, or you love going to garage sales, or you're into antiques, definitely watch the TV show Antiques Roadshow. You'll be surprised. Every single time I watch it, I'm surprised of the things that actually sell. And I don't know where I saw this. I think it was was it a Facebook post? But some guy went into a Goodwill recently. I believe it was recent. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he went into a Goodwill and he found a whole bunch of very old photographs. And he knew his photographs. He was educated in this niche, and he actually found a photograph that I believe was selling for like thousands of dollars, and he paid like $2 for it. So it just goes to show you never know what you can find when you're out there hustling. Flea markets, antique malls, garage sales, thrift stores. My good friend Chad over with the Golden Finger Picker channel, he actually picked up a super rare record. This was years back, and I think he sold that for, what was it, like over $20,000 or $50,000, something ridiculous. I don't remember the exact number, but it happens. I've been reselling for about 4 to 5 years now. I've lost track, and I've never found really anything that amazing, like anything that sold for like thousands of dollars. But it's possible, and I think that's the fun part of going out on the hunt, reselling, thrifting, garage sales, is you never know what's around the corner, what's under the next box, or what's inside the box, or whatever. It's absolutely amazing. Hustle and Grow says, typically if someone is buying items from the 19th century, war-related or not, it is a collector or a museum who will be buying it. They will know if they are real. Many educate you. Many are educated if you are not. So next item up that's sold. Here's an item that you can actually find at the thrift store. I've actually found quite a few really rare Ralph Lauren polo items. And typically you can tell that the item is vintage based on the tag, based on the colors. A lot of the vintage or rare items have interesting patches on the sleeves, on the chest, or the style just looks unique. And here's a fine example of a Ralph Lauren polo. It says NASA. I see NASA as one of the keywords in the title. Ski/snowboard, 1/4 zip down jacket. This sold for $1,425. And you might be thinking to yourself, there is no way in a million years that a Ralph Lauren polo item can sell for this much money. And I'm going to tell you right now, yes, they can. They sell all the time. There's a lot of Ralph Lauren items that sell for $500 to $1,000 plus, and they're used. They're used, and they're typically from the 80s. I don't know if it's the 80s, but I know they're from the 90s, early 2000s. Look for anything with patches, with odd colors, with 1992 Stadium, with just unique materials and designs and colors. They do really, really well. So this is cool right here. NASA Jeans Company Polo. Very, very cool. Next item that's sold is a vintage Levi's, appears to be, I wanted to say a leather jacket. Yeah, but it looks like it's a leather jacket that had 19 bids and sold for $950. And to be quite honest, this isn't even that impressive for like in comparison to what some of these vintage Levi's items sell for. There's been Levi's jeans from like the early 1900s that have sold for like 20,000, 50,000. I believe they've sold for like near six figures because they're so rare. Some of the more common Levi's items that you could find that sell for, you know, $200, $500 plus are the Big E Levi's jeans. Take a look at the little tag that's sticking off on the jeans, typically on the side of the jeans. If the Levi's letters, if the E is capitalized, that's known as the Big E Levi's item, and those can sell for really, really good money. But $950, anything hard to find, rare, old, unique within the Levi's brand that's vintage can bring in really, really big bucks. This is the eighth most expensive clothing item that's sold on eBay in 2017. And I might have missed a few, but these are just some of the top 10 ones that I found. Here's a brand called Oxford Clothes. Double X. This appears to be $6,995 retail in the store. This was new with tags, so it's not that impressive, but it's definitely expensive for selling on eBay. This Oxford Clothes suit, beautiful suit, sold for $1,495 by Stop on Wells. Take a look at that tag. Now, a lot of the Oxford Clothes items that I find will sell for 50 to 100 to 200 plus, depending on the item. You know, the odds of you finding an Oxford Clothes item out in the wild, brand new with tags, you know, other than wholesale, is going to be quite rare. But just goes to show that even, you know, brands like this with new with tags could sell for big bucks. And I know it's a brand that a lot of people probably don't know of, but it's out there. I've found this brand probably 10 times over the last 3 or 4 years. Nothing sold, you know, nothing I've sold in this brand has sold for anything near that. I think the most has been like $200 for like a maybe a suit or, you know, a sport coat. But this is an awesome brand right here. Definitely be on the lookout for this item. The ninth most expensive item that sold on eBay within the clothing niche in 2017 is a brand that is called Hermes. Hermes. And this appears to be a medium-sized gray sweatsuit. 16 bids, $676. Now, this is a brand that I have found probably 3 to 4 times in the field. I'm assuming this is used, excellent condition. I actually recently sold a tie for about $100 in this brand. So this brand will sell really, really well. It doesn't matter what you find. It's expensive. It's hard to come across. It's rare. It's luxury. This can make you some really good money. And the last item I want to share with you is an item that I don't know much about. Japanese small medium Bogner women's ladies ski snowboard jacket. $1,500 right here. So let's take a look at this item. So I don't know if it's pronounced Bogner or Bogner or maybe something else. Bogner is the brand. I've actually heard of this brand before. Definitely, a unique looking item. It looks like it was made with some, high quality. The fabric looks strong, sturdy. I don't know if that's real fur up top. I'm assuming at $1,500 that it probably is. This is an excellent condition Bogner. I'm going to just call it that. Ski snowboard jacket designed by Gone Thillman, which is a person I don't know. These jackets are very high end and extremely well made. There are intricate details and stitch work throughout, and you could definitely tell that it's high quality stitch work just off the bat. Super soft removable fur on cuffs and interior collar. Polyester suede details, brownish white. So they're just giving some details, a bunch of measurements. And yeah, that's it, guys. That is definitely it. Someone's saying that brand is amazing. Corey says that go for dollars. Corey's also saying they make handkerchiefs. So yeah, guys, there's a lot of items out there that sell for really, really good money on eBay. In this session, I want to share with you guys the top 10 expensive clothing items, most expensive clothing items that sold on eBay in 2017. And simply, I just typed in clothing and went to the top, right? Price plus shipping, highest first, and just went through some of the top selling items. And this is a cool way to be able to educate yourself, guys. I mean, there's so many items that sell for good money on eBay. And I think I'm going to continue to do this for different niches to not only educate myself, but to educate you guys as well on what some of the top most expensive items out there that are selling. So hopefully you could come across them. Maybe one day you can pick one of these items up. If you do, definitely shoot me a message. I would love to see it. And you never know. I mean, you never really know. If you're going out to thrift stores consistently, if you're going to garage sales on a regular basis, if you're hitting the flea markets, if you're out there hustling and grinding and you're out there putting in work, you're going to come across an item eventually. It might not be a $5,000 Elvis Presley shirt, but maybe it's a pair of Biggie Levi's jeans that you sell for 400, or maybe it's a really rare, sports jersey with a signature of somebody that you recognize that you saw in one of these videos. You never know. But the key is to go out there, hustle, make it happen, and maybe one day you can have, your 15 minutes of fame, right? And find that crazy item. So I'm going to look in the comments, see what's going on. If you guys have enjoyed this so far, be sure to smash that like button, show some love. I definitely appreciate that, guys. Helps me out a lot. Relly Craig or Really Craig, what's going on? Good to see you. 14 Amali. I'm not even going to try to pronounce some of these names. I'll call you 14. Get Raiken's books. That could help. Appreciate that. Yep. If you guys are interested in selling clothes, I've got some books I created. Just go down into the description. You can check those out if you are looking to step up your game. Blue Gorilla Flipper. What's going on? BGF. Raiken, have you ever sold any Doc Martens clothes? I have a track jacket that says Doc Marten shoes from hood to coast. I've never sold a Doc Marten or Dr. Marten clothing items. I've sold the shoes, obviously that's the most popular. But my advice to you is go into the sold listings and type into the title, the brand name, and type in whatever keywords associate with that item and see if any are for sale or if they've sold. And then I would base my pricing upon what the price history is. That's the best way. If you don't see anything, sold, or you don't see anything for sale, which happens every now and then, just list it, right? Just make sure it's real. If that's a decent brand, so the quality should be high. If it feels really odd and off, you might want to pass. Just you don't want to be listing counterfeits. But for something like that, it's probably not counterfeited, right? So I would just list it up, maybe start it at an auction or start it buy it now really high and see if you get any bites. Yo, Raiken, the French don't pronounce the S in Hermes, so you would say Hermes. You know what's so funny, guys? I watch a lot of videos and I talk to a lot of people, and everybody wants to give advice about how to pronounce words. But how in the freaking world are you supposed to know how to pronounce anything when you talk to 10 people and they all pronounce it 10 different ways? It's hilarious. It really is. I talk to so many people. It's not Ermenegildo Zegna. It's Ermenegildo Yegna. No, it's Ermenegilda Zegna. No, it's anyways, guys, it's crazy. I'm not here to learn how to pronounce things properly. I'm here to make money. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys are having a great day. Go out there, make it happen, go hustle, keep on picking and making that money. Smash that like button. Look in the description. We got some freebies down there. Grab them, make it happen, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Go practice your pronunciations. Pronounce. Bye.